everybody, welcome to Chair Yoga with Sam. Today we're going to try and do quite a rounded routine, but there is going to be some particular focus on our arms, creating some arm strength. Please work at your own pace, and if your doctor has advised that you avoid any types of exercise, please don't try those kinds when following the video. So we're going to come and sit in a nice comfortable position, observing our right angles in our knees, in our ankles and in our hips. And we're going to start with settling ourselves down. So I'm going to move a little bit further back into the chair to settle myself down, to use the back of the chair to start to relax my body, relaxing my shoulders back and down. And you can either close your eyes or gently lower your gaze. We're going to start with noticing the breathing, noticing the quality of the breath, how easily it flows in and out, and the sensation as we breathe in and out of the cold air coming into the nostrils, slightly warmer air coming out. We might notice that the belly expands as we breathe in, chest rises, and all contracts and relaxes as we breathe out. So I'm now going to invite you to change the breath slightly and to do your out breath through your mouth. We're going to do something called the golden thread breath. Well, with this breath, although we breathe out through the mouth, there's not much of the mouth that's open. The lips are relaxed, but just a small hole. We breathe in normally through the nose, and when we breathe out through the mouth, it just comes out very slowly, nice long out breath. And maybe if you want to, you could imagine a golden thread spiralling out from your mouth, outwards, ever outwards, hence the name golden thread breath. Let's try that 3 times. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Into the nose and out through relaxed lips. One more in your own time. And then returning the breath to your normal breathing. Relaxing the shoulders back and down if they've started to creep up. Sometimes they do that when we're concentrating on a new skill, on doing something new. I'm going to sit a little taller in my chair. I'm going to wriggle my fingers and my toes. And you can either keep your eyes closed or open them if you wish to. The neck movements are quite a nice exercise to do with the eyes closed or relaxed. We're going to start with nodding our head 3 times. Take it nice and slowly. Feel the release as the head moves down. Nice long back as we move the head back up again. In your own time, pausing for a moment as the head's lowered. And then taking the head from side to side. Breathing out as we come round to one side. In back to centre. But do this in your own time, in your own length of breath. as you come back to centre, blinking the eyes open if they were closed, I'm going to shrug the shoulders up and then relax them back and down. Up, roll them back, relax them down. One more time. Up, back and down. And let's roll one. Just focusing on what's going on with one side of the body, one side of the shoulder. And back in the other direction. And let's try the other side. Loosening up the shoulder joint, the shoulder socket. And noticing the change as we move the arm forward, rolling forward. Lovely. I'm going to take the arms wide. We're going to take them above the head and back down to centre. Let's try that again. Wide. Turn the palms up, above the head and back to centre. Wide. Turn the palms up, above the head, down, back to centre. Let's go the other way. Up. Palms are coming down this time and back to centre. Noticing that the shoulders might start to creep up a little bit. So each time you come to an end of a round, you could relax them, consciously relax them back and down. Wonderful. We're going to give the shoulders a bit of a release now. We're going to take one hand to the opposite shoulder, and you can either press the elbow to see if you've got any more movement, or just keep your hand on that shoulder if that's too much. Sitting nice and tall. Then take the hand out, up high and down towards the same shoulder. And again, you may be able to press the elbow to take some more movement, but that might be too much. So just place it where it feels comfortable. Give that a shake out. Let's try the other side. Hand comes to the opposite shoulder. This could be enough for you, or it could be that you can create some more movement by pressing into the elbow. Then take the hand out and up, taking the hand to the same shoulder. Again, this might be enough, or you might be able to take it a little bit further down your back. Wonderful, release that out. Okay, we're going to do a little stretch now. We're going to take our hand into like a fist, but with a hitchhiker thumb up. We're going to start turning this, moving this arm out to the side, and we're going to watch the thumb as we do so. But we're also going to do another action as we move the hand out. So we're going to be moving the hand out to the side, but we're also going to be opening the fingers up one at a time as we move. So if that's too much, then just take the fist out. But let's see if we can do some work with the fingers at the same time. Relax your shoulders. And on the next out breath, we're just opening, 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 breathing in and out. Steady now. Flatten the hands. And then let's bring it back. Closing the fingers as we do so, washing the hand the whole way back to our hitchhiker thumb. Let's relax that arm. You might feel that in the upper arm. And then thumbs up on the other side. And we're going to watch the hand as we open, open, all the way out. Flatten the hands. Really feel that stretch, the nerve that's being pulled along the arm. And we come back again. Closing the fingers. Bending forward with our thumb. Well done. Lovely. Give that a nice release. But we're going to take our hands now into cactus arms. The hands are up, the arms are parallel to the floor. Take a lovely breath in. Breathe out, draw the elbows together. So let's do that with a breathing. In and out. Trying to still keep that lovely upright position in the upper body. Grounding down with the feet. And on the next one, we're going to hold it together. So the elbows are together. They might be that your elbows aren't coming quite together, that you're drawing them towards each other. So don't worry about that, but that's the direction we're taking them. And for a moment, maybe you can take the back of the hands together. And the other direction. And then give them a good shake out. Lovely. So that's a version of seated eagle pose. The full pose takes the arms all the way round. But we don't need to go all the way round. We come as far as works for our body. So we could be that we only come here. It could be that we can draw the elbows in. It could be that we can take the back of the hands. Or it could be that we'll go all the way. So we will be working towards that over time. Or maybe we'll only get so far, but we will be working in that direction. So we're going to give the arms a little rest for now, and we're going to work on the middle part of the body, the torso, and we're going to start with just releasing the spine. So I'm going to come to the side for our cat curls. And you can do this with wider legs, or they can come parallel about hip width apart. It really doesn't matter, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're going to start with the out breath, and as we breathe out, we're going to push the middle of the back towards the back of the chair. The hands are going to come forward. And as we breathe in, drawing the shoulders back. Nice chest opener. Let's do that a few times with the breathing. Noticing that when we breathe in, we do have that natural curve already in the lower spine, so maybe focusing on the upper back, the upper part of the spine, opening the shoulders. Lovely, gentle, flowing movements, but wonderful for separating the vertebrae in the spine and creating movement from the top of the spine right to the bottom. And as I've said in previous videos, you can enhance that movement by, on the in-breath, opening the arms wide, and on the out-breath, giving yourself a little hug. Opening and closing. Coming to centre. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider now, so I'm going to come to the front of my chair. If you come, the further forward you come onto your chair, the more you're supporting your own body, the stronger your practice will be. We're going to take the legs a little bit wide, the feet are coming to face outwards a little bit, and so are the knees, the same angle. We're going to take our invisible spoon, we're going to move to one side, swing around, and then we may be able to come back as well. So we may be able to do a full circle, but that could be quite strong. On the back movement, we use our tummy muscles quite a lot, and if that's too strong, then just come across. Moving round. And it could be a smaller circle as well. It could be just a slight movement of the hips. Maybe being able to build it up to a bigger circle as we warm up. Let's go the other way. And if you wanted to add the breathing to this, you're breathing in, so we're going back, and breathing out, coming forward. Coming into smaller circles as we start to bring the body to stillness. Well done. Okay, so we're going to work on the feet and the toes. We're going to sit a little bit further back in the chair again so that we can lift the legs up. I'm lifting the legs up so that they're parallel with the floor, but you don't need to. You could bring them down a little bit lower so that you're working mainly on the feet and ankles and not engaging too much with the legs. You're still engaging with the legs here. You'll feel a tightness. You'll feel that your muscles are still working here. So come to a position that works for you. And we're going to start by paddling the feet, as we might do at the edge of a pool. Just paddling the feet up and down. Trying to still engage the tummy, so sitting nice and tall. Pause for a moment, circle one way and the other. Maybe window wipe. A nice one to do for your concentration, to see how much your ankle and your foot can move, is to draw your name, write your name with your foot in the air. Gives a little full stop at the end. Let's try that with the other foot. I've only got 3 letters in mind, so that's a bit easier than some people. And we're going to bring the feet down again. Lovely. We're going to come up onto the balls of the feet and then up onto the heels. The balls of the feet and the heels. If you wanted to, you could alternate this so that there's some coordination there. But really we're working into the ankle joint. Working the muscles at the bottom of the feet, which is why this works a little bit better to do barefoot. You get a little bit more scope for movement. Taking the heels in and parallel. And then the toes. And resting. We're going to take the hands together and start working on fingers. And taking the fingers towards you and taking them away from you. Towards you and away. Holding the hands out and taking the back of the hands together. We're going to take them round and swim the arms out. So we come out, back of the hands come together, in and down, swim them out. Side of the hands, back of the hands, rotate the hands round, down and out. And give the fingers a little wriggle. We're going to isolate each finger and see what movement we have here. We have a nice sunny day outside today, so some of you might be doing some gardening. And so I want you to do the movement you might do when you were trying to put a seed into the ground. So you need to burrow a little hole into the earth to place your seed, and we're going to do that with each of our fingers. So we'll start with the first finger, and we're circling. Take it the other way. The next finger, circling the other way. And the last two are much harder to do. They're harder to separate. As you can see, my other finger's joining in when I do it, and you can do it with your thumb as well. Lovely. And then pushing the hand and down, up and down. Lovely. And the last thing we're going to do with this hand is imagine that we're picking up a coin. So imagine you have a table here with coins on it, and you're picking up with one finger and the thumb, the next finger, the next, and the little finger. And relax that hand. So let's try digging into the earth on this side. So we're circling one way, and then the other, with the next finger. This is not the hand I use as much, I write with my right hand, so it gets harder and harder the less you actively use your fingers, because practice makes it stronger. Lovely. Push down, releasing the wrists. And then let's finish with picking up our coins, so picking it up with the first finger, the middle finger, the ring finger and the pinky. Well done. We're now going to move and work on a little bit stronger with our legs. We're going to do some versions of boat pose. So first of all, we're going to come into boat pose holding onto the chair. That helps a little bit. We can take the legs up as far as they feel comfortable. Boat pose doesn't need to be parallel to the floor, so we could be a bit lower. And we're going to try and release one hand we're going to try and release another hand. If that feels too much, take the hands back, otherwise holding them up. We're going to try and take one arm forward, the other arm forward, point the toes, flex the feet, point, flex, point and flex. Holding it for 3, 2, 1 and relax everything down. Wonderful. Okay, we're now going to come up to standing postures to help our balance and strength of our legs. When they come into stand behind the chair, we're going to take a wide stance with the legs. Let that be as wide as is comfortable. So mine are quite wide, wider than the width of the chair, but you could just come to the width of the chair if that feels too much. And the feet are facing forward. We're going to start with a little side bend. We're going to turn one foot out to the side. Holding onto the chair, we're going to have the other hand next to us, turning the palm to face outwards. The arm comes up and we come down. So we're still holding on, but coming into a version of triangle pose. You could look up to your hand if that feels comfortable, but that may feel strong on the neck. And then you can just look forward. Coming back with control. Bring the foot forward and take the other foot out to the side. This time we're going to take the further arm away, raising her up, which again we could watch, and then we're tipping to one side. So we're holding onto the chair here. If it feels too much to have the arm up in the air, you could have the hand on your hip. We're still doing that lovely side bend. And again, you could just be looking forward. Coming up with control on the out breath. Taking the foot forward and then inching the feet back parallel, a little bit of distance, maybe 2 fist distance. So we're going to come up onto the tiptoes for a moment and down. And maybe for a moment here we could even come onto the heels. So we're rocking from the balls of the feet to the heels. Lovely. We're going to step back a little bit and come into a standing version of chair pose, but with holding the chair. So we're going to bend the knees towards the chair, and as if we were putting our bottom down onto a chair behind us, stopping where you feel there's a resistance. There's a resistance if you came any further. The sense of strength in the upper legs would be maybe shaking them. So we want to just come down as far as is comfortable. And some of you may be able to let go with one hand, some of you with 2. This could be in cactus arms if bringing your arms forward is too much, or if you find that when you've got your arms up it's all too much, just hold on to the chair. And an even stronger version of this would be to come up onto the balls of the feet. If you have your arms up or in cactus arms, now lower them to the chair and then lower the heels. And give them a little shake out, because that's quite a strong workout for the quads and for the calf muscles too. Well done. We're going to do tree pose. I'm going to move my chair so that you can see tree. And I would suggest if you do tree and you're not wanting to bring your leg out to the side, but bring it forward, you probably come to the side of the chair. But if you're okay to bring the leg out to the side, holding onto the chair with one hand, we're going to be working with the opposite leg. The hand comes onto the hip. This steadies your balance a little bit more. And then, now we know we're going to be standing on this leg, we can take the weight into it by just bending the other leg. Draw the knee to come outwards. And we have a tree pose already here. Now some of you may feel that you can take the foot up onto the lower leg. But if it starts to feel a bit too wobbly, or that you're leaning your hips to one side, Then you can just bring the toes to touch the floor. So gazing at one point straight ahead of you, or maybe slightly lower than you, can help you find focus. It can help you find some stillness in this pose. And if you feel really secure at any point, you could take the other hand off. Move the hands to where it feels comfortable, just knowing that the chair is always there. And if you have released your hands, bring them back before you lower the foot. Well done. Let's try that on the other side. So what we might find is that we have more balance on one side of the body, that we have more focus. We also might find that the hips don't turn the knee out quite so far on one side. So finding nice tall position, hand on the hip, holding onto the chair for support, and then taking the weight into the leg that is closest to the chair, just bending the outer leg. And we can turn that outwards and keep the foot on the floor, or we may feel that we could lift the leg up, placing the foot on the lower leg rather than the knee joint, which will put a bit of pressure there. It could be that you feel you could let go, but don't worry if you want to hold on. And coming down with control. Well done. So we have one more pose for our standing postures. This is one of my favourite poses. It's a strong pose, but it feels like it's a real energising, positive pose as well. So I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider than the chair, but you don't need to take your feet wider than the chair. They just come as far as is comfortable. We're trying to maybe get them a little bit past hip width. The feet are face forwards, toes are forward. We're going to come down on the next out breath. So we'll be breathing in, and when we breathe out, we're going to bend the knees. So we, again, placing the bottom behind us, bending the knees quite deeply if you want to. And if you want to, if you need to hold onto the chair, hold onto the chair. But if you don't want to hold onto the chair, your hands are going to be in a cactus shape, okay? So I'm going to show you the offering just with the legs. So we take a nice deep breath in, and we breathe out through the mouth. And now I'm going to show you with the arms, but you can still just do it with the legs if you like. Breathe in. And then the last one, I'm going to show you the way I like to fully do it with a class, so that when we breathe out, the tongue comes out as well. Again, you don't need to do this, it's just a strong out breath or a with the tongue. It's up to you. So breathing in. Well done. Coming down to a nice seated position again. Checking in with your right angles again. And placing the hand onto the opposite knee. We're going to let the other hand drop to our side. Turn the palm to face outwards. Breathe in. Just stretch the arm up and over the head. Breathe out into a side bend. Again, you can look up or under your arms. But if that feels too much on the neck, just keep it facing forward. Breathe in to straighten. Breathe out to lower with the palm facing down. So we come to the other side, hand onto the opposite leg, the arms dangling, and turn the palm to face outwards. As we breathe in, we raise the arm up, and as we breathe out, we bend to the side. Lovely stretch through the side body. We can take a nice deep breath here and notice how we breathe into the side of the lungs as well as the front of them. Breathe in and lower with the palm facing down. Well done. And now we're going to do a little sun salute, a seated sun salute. So let's breathe in and raise the arms up. Breathe out, cactus arms. Breathe in, extend forward, nice long back. Breathe out, come all the way down. If this is too much for you to come all the way down, you could come onto the knees. Breathe in to a twist to one side, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, twist to the other side, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, extended forward bend. Breathe out, back to centre. So the variations of this to make it slightly softer are that we don't need to come all the way down, as I mentioned. We could just come this far. And also in the twist, you could just come to look to one side, laying the arm across the legs. You don't need to raise the hand. You could just come to look either way. So let's have another go. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 Well done. Take the arms up and the palms are facing downwards. Breathe in to sit tall. Breathe out, bring them across. Breathe in and then swap the cross. Wonderful. Bring them out again and now have the palms face upwards. And we'll do that again. Breathe in to sit tall and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and now the palms are facing forwards. If at any point during this practice you need to rest the arms, just do so. Just rest for a moment and join us when you're ready. Breathe in, sit tall. Breathe out, crisscross. Breathe in. Breathe out, cross the other way. And back again. The last one is the back of the hands facing forwards. Breathe in, sit tall. Breathe out. In and swap the cross as we breathe out. Breathe in and lower them down. Well done. Give your shoulders a roll. We've really worked the arms, the upper arms, quite strongly today. We're going to take the hand to the opposite knee again, and this time we're going to take the hand behind us. And in our seated twist, we can either take the head around with us or we could face forwards. We try to relax the shoulders and sit nice and upright. You could maybe imagine that you're balancing a book on your head, because the upright position is more preferable to leaning our way round further. We don't need to come very far. On the next out breath, come back to centre and swap the hands over, finding a comfortable seated twist. We can use the back of the chair to help manoeuvre us round further. So sometimes I hold on to the back part of the chair and it takes me round further. Just be careful that the shoulder remains nice and lowered away from the ears. Lovely. And on the next out breath, release. So we're going to finish with our relaxation. It's important that we're comfortable for our relaxation. So if you have a hard chair like I'm sitting on, it may be the time to get a cushion and place it at the back of the chair. This would also be the case if your chair sort of curves or slants back a little. So we want to be relaxed, we want to be sitting right into the back of the chair, but we want to remain upright. So the cushion could actually help you keep a nice long spine if your back of your chair is not good for that position. And we want to maintain our right angles in our ankles, in our knees and in our hips. Relaxing the shoulders back and down, placing the hands onto the lap, either with the palms down or up. Closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. And checking in with our breathing. Today we're going to try a visualisation. in order to relax us further. So I would like you to imagine a garden. And this garden could be your garden or a garden you visited. Or if you want to, you could create a garden from your imagination. I want you to imagine that you're sitting in this garden and that you're looking all around you. Noticing the colours that you can see in the garden. Noticing the plants that are in the garden, the trees, the flowers, the shapes of the leaves. Noticing if there's anything else in the garden. Taking a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. And on the next in-breath, I want you to imagine the smells of the garden. The fresh air. Maybe there's a damp smell of grass, of dew. Maybe there's a sense of warmth. And now I want you to picture what you might hear in the garden. The sounds, the soft sounds of nature. And I want you to picture yourself in the garden, relaxing. Knowing that in this place, anything that you've got going on can be left behind. That this place is just here for you to relax, to be you. Slowly the image of the garden will dissolve. But know that you can come back and visit this garden when you need to. When things are too much or lists are too long and you need to just take a moment's pause, a moment away from it all. You can revisit your garden. It is your special place. Taking a slightly deeper breath in and a long breath out. Sitting a little taller in the chair. Starting to feel the texture of the fabric on your legs. Allowing the hands to drop to either side of the chair. And turning the palms to face outwards. Let's blink the eyes open. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, stretching the arms wide and high as is comfortable. Breathing out and releasing. Let's enjoy one more breath with the movement. And relax. Well done, everybody. Om Shanti. Namaste.